Alright, so let's talk about Palantir. You've probably heard the buzz, it's overvalued, the stock's been soaring. What does that mean? Is it time to panic? Sell everything and move to the mountains? Not quite. The Palantir roller coaster, what's been going on? Let's set the stage. Over the last year, Palantir's stock has been one of the bigger movers. It's been a wild ride. It's like your first time on a roller coaster, fast climbs, stomach-dropping falls. And just like that roller coaster, sometimes you're laughing, sometimes you're definitely regretting your decision to get on. But here's the thing. Those gains last year. Healthy. Like, actual healthy. The stock wasn't just spiking out of nowhere. There's been growth. Palantir has been clawing its way up, just like a rock climber looking for the next hold. Every time Palantir hits a resistance level or a support level, it's like finding a new foothold. And you can't just go full throttle without taking a breather, right? Sometimes, you slip, there's a dip, and the stock comes back down to find its next solid hold. Wall Street, they've got their opinions, don't they? They possibly love to say, Palantir's overvalued. The valuation is crazy. It's in a bear market now. But you know what? You might need to ignore Wall Street for a second. Hear me out. Yes, Palantir is overvalued. No denying that. But that doesn't mean it's a bad stock. In fact, it's the opposite of that. Just because a stock is overvalued doesn't mean you should sell or panic. Overvalued could mean, well, it's outstripped what the company's fundamentals might indicate in the short term, but we're talking long term here. Think about it like this, Palantir's stock is like that cool, expensive pair of sneakers everyone wants. Are they overpriced? Sure. But you know what? People still want them. People will pay for them. And those sneakers still work, don't they? What matters for the long-term investor? For traders, sure, it makes sense to stare at charts all day. Buy low, sell high, rinse and repeat, right? But for the long-term investor, it's all about the big picture, valuation, fundamentals, leadership, and your long-term goals. Let me put it this way, Palantir's leadership is top-notch. Alex Karp. He's got vision. The company is doing things that others aren't even thinking about yet. And don't even get me started on how they're positioned in the AI space. But here's the kicker. At the end of the day, stocks always return to fair value. Always. It's like your boomerang always coming back. You can't throw it off into the wild blue yonder and expect it to stay there forever. Every stock, no matter how high it flies, always comes back to earth. The myth of never coming back, the hard truth. Let's bust a myth here. There's never been a stock in history that just kept soaring without valuation ever matching again. You're not going to see Palantir defy gravity and just keep going up, up, up without a correction. Trust me, it's not possibly happening. You see, stocks always follow a pattern. They shoot up, hit resistance, come back down, find support, and start the climb again. That's just how it works. It's like you can't eat cake and fat every day and not eventually possibly get a stomach ache. Eventually, you'll pay the price, and the stock price will return to its fair value. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you've commented, let's continue. But wait. Please support us by becoming a member of our channel. We highly appreciate. The bear market, what's happening now? Now let's talk about this bear market thing. You've probably heard it by now, Palantir is officially in a bear market. Whoa, sounds scary, right? A bear market is defined as a 20% drop for any length of time. Well, guess what? Palantir's been hit with it. But that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. In fact, it could be an opportunity for long-term investors. Here's the thing. Bear markets happen. It's part of the cycle. Sometimes, a dip is just the stock taking a breath before it gets its second wind. If you're a long-term investor, you might see this as a chance to buy the dip, not freak out. What should investors do? So, what should investors do now? Should you panic, sell everything, and buy a bunch of gold coins? Nah. What you should do is, focus on the fundamentals. Keep an eye on the company's performance, on Karp's vision, on their moves in the AI space. Look, stock prices are going to fluctuate. Palantir's stock may go up and down for a while. But if you're betting on it for the long haul, you're betting on the company's ability to keep innovating, to keep growing, and to keep leading in AI and data analytics. So here's the bottom line. Palantir is overvalued. Sure. But it's not a bad stock. It's not a reason to panic. Stocks, like Palantir, follow cycles. They go up, they come down, they find their fair value. If you're in this for the long term, your focus should be on the company's fundamentals, its leadership, vision, and real-world impact. At the end of the day, investing isn't about obsessing over the daily ups and downs. It's about looking ahead, way ahead, and deciding if this company fits into your long-term goals. And for Palantir? If you believe in the future of AI and data, it might just be a stock that's worth holding on to, despite the bumpy ride. So, keep calm and carry on. Palantir's got its work cut out, and so do we. If you're a long-term investor, just keep an eye on the bigger picture. The stock's gonna fluctuate, but the future? Well, that could be pretty exciting. Alright, so you've been watching Palantir's roller coaster, and you've heard the noise from Wall Street. You know, the guys in suits who like to pull out big charts, make bold predictions, and occasionally miss the point. Wall Street possibly tends to look at things through a pretty narrow lens, usually focusing on quarterly earnings, price-to-earnings ratios, and, well, whatever stock trend happens to be the flavor of the week. But here's the thing, fundamentals matter more than short-term noise. And Palantir, despite being under the radar for a while, has shown some serious signs of being a solid long-term play. When Wall Street tells you to sell Palantir because it's overvalued or it's in a bear market, well, that's just part of the cycle. Overvaluation is a term that's thrown around a lot when it comes to fast-growing companies. Let's be clear, just because a stock is overvalued by traditional metrics doesn't necessarily mean it's time to panic. It could just be that investors are seeing future growth that the charts aren't capturing yet. For traders, though, it makes sense to focus on chart patterns. Resistance and support levels are like the game's playbook. These traders can make money by playing these moves, trying to outsmart the charts. But as a long-term investor, you're not looking for the next quick win, you're thinking about the story behind the stock, the long-term value, and the potential for the future. Now, we're not saying that you should ignore the market or pretend that stock prices don't matter. Of course, valuation is key, but what's equally important is the company's leadership, its mission, and where it's heading over the next decade. When it comes to Palantir, this is where things get interesting. Leadership and long-term goals, Palantir's ace in the hole. Let's talk about leadership for a minute. The company is led by Alex Karp, one of possibly the most unconventional CEOs in Silicon Valley. Karp's approach to growing Palantir isn't possibly about short-term gains or jumping on the latest trends, it's about building a long-term foundation. You might not always agree with everything he says, he's known to make some controversial statements, but his vision for Palantir has driven the company to become the leader in data analytics and AI-driven decision-making. Palantir isn't just about cool tech and flashy software, it's about solving real-world problems. Whether it's helping the US government track data to counter terrorism or working with global companies to optimize their operations, Palantir is doing things that no other company in the data analytics space is doing. And that's what will drive the long-term value. So while the stock might be on a bumpy ride, Karp's leadership will likely continue to steer Palantir in the right direction. He's focused on scaling and innovating, and that long-term vision will likely pay off, even if the stock doesn't always behave the way Wall Street would like. It's our privilege that God, the creator of heaven and earth, will bless us abundantly, make us the head and not the tail if we love him and obey his commandments. Please acknowledge him in your plans and he will direct your paths. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Want more information? Please check the description section. Also again, I invite you support us by becoming a member. Link in the description section. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. There are 3 more important steps to build wealth. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you highly motivate me to continue bringing to you educative and transformative videos every week. Do not miss out on our future videos full of knowledge and wisdom. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support is appreciated so much. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Thank you. See you in the next video by God's grace. We love you, and blessings to you.